Hello and welcome, my name is dragondrop and this is the joinDOTALeague. We are still in the starter division and this is the match between the Snotbagz and Team Shinoki. Yeah, both of these teams sitting about in the middle of the pack. Snotbagz basically sitting at 4 and 4, split right down the middle. Team Shinoki slightly better with 5 and 3. So it's promising to be a really good match as we see the Timbersaw already picked out by Snotbagz. Uran and Darkseer banned, so these offlane solo heroes that are a pain to deal with sometimes. Team Shinoki banning out the Visage and the Bristleback, both heroes that are relatively tanky. The Visage with the Gravekeeper's Cloak and the Bristleback of course with his passive. And that can really be a liability if the team fights go on for longer than a minute or so.
10 seconds to go.
Shinoki picking out the Alchemist and the Crystal Maiden, very strong support combo. We'll see if they want to run the Alchemist as a support or maybe as a mid or a carry.
Reserve time.
Alchemist has fallen off since he got nerfed in the last patch. I don't see him too often anymore, but just means that his concoction basically isn't as overpowered anymore. I mean, it doesn't charge up in the air anymore.
Dyer's banned.
You have to be more spot on with your timing, basically. But apart from that, Alchemist is still a viable pick. And he still does the same things and brings the same things to the table. I mean, he can start out as a support or a mid, and just by virtue of greed and speed, he can later transition into a carry role. So
5 seconds.
in that sense, very versatile pickup, as well as the Crystal Maiden. I've said that a couple of times with the Frostbite, allowing her to jungle early on, with the Crystal Nova, with the slow. And depending on what other heroes they can pick up, the Arcane Aura will be very useful. I mean, the Alchemist, of course, a hero that is quite mana dependent for the skills and burns through mana quite quickly. He'll benefit from that later on. Snotbagz though, picking up the Disruptor, very good teamfight controller, and on top of the Timbersaw,
Radiant's
the burst AoE damage that the Timbersaw brings out already. Now, put that onto a Plasma Field and Disruptor Ultimate, Static Storm, that alone will be enough to pop a Crystal Maiden and some other squishier heroes. So
Dyer's ban.
Problem with Disruptor is that he isn't really that good until he gets a couple of levels. So you usually want to get 2 levels into Glimpse in lane before you basically really feel effective.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
Apart from that, if Shinoki doesn't contest the lane with the Disruptor in it, he'll be able to throw out the Thunder Strike for harassment. So that should be alright.
Radiant's ban.
See, a couple of carries banned. Lifestealer, Juggernaut, Weaver, and Outworld Devourer. Oh yeah, that's smart ban from Shinoki. Banning the OD and picking a Death Prophet for the mid lane. So Death Prophet, really scary pusher with the ultimate. As soon as it's up, towers will go down, or at least drop really, really fast. Can't really contest that. Unless you really want to commit.
10 seconds
Basically, if you want to contest a Death Prophet, running your ultimate banging away on a tower, you have to commit onto her, bring her down as fast as possible before the spirits come back to her, give her extra health, stuff like that. So that can be a problem. Kind of snowball dependent hero though. She really needs a lot of levels into the Crypt Swarm and the Witchcraft.
Radiant's pick.
To continue to be effective. She likes to stay ahead. Naga Siren, very nice pickup. I love that hero so much. She can do a lot of things. She can play support, she can play hard carry, she can play mid. Not against a Death Prophet though. That probably wouldn't work out too well. So I'm thinking this will be a carry Naga.
10 seconds to go.
What Arteezy and other pro players have been doing is just rush a Radiance on a Naga and then farm the entire map with the illusions. So between the Radiance and the Riptide, there's a lot of creeps going down really, really fast. So, yeah. If you manage to get a Radiance up on her, pretty much the fastest farmer in the game. And She gets 6 slotted as fast, basically. And then she is very scary.
Dyer's
Also,
pick.
Red Dota coming out from her with just being able to spam the illusions to attack towers. Once she gets a heart on top of a heart and a butterfly maybe on top of the radiance, and these illusions are really hard to deal with because they're quite tanky in their own right. That's when you can use them to just siege towers and at the same time don't give up anything. Alright.
Radiance
Clockwork
ban.
picked up for Shinoki. Very nice pick as well. Clockwork is just the offlaner that can stick to the offlane, get his levels, and has this power cost as sort of an escape mechanism. And once he gets level 6, he can start roaming around, really break open the map. You have to be...
5 seconds.
If the Clockwork is off the map, you have to constantly feel these hookshots. And that combined with the battery sword can be quite damaging to single heroes. For example, the Disruptor. Because even if the Disruptor throws his ultimate on top of it... actually, as I say that, he has Glimpse, so the Disruptor should be fine unless Clockwork can burst him down really fast.
Dyer's ban.
Well, the Glimpse is on cooldown, so... Okay, but we see the Ember Spirit picked up for Snotbagz, so probably not a carry Naga, but a support Naga. They might run her in mid, or they might run Ember Spirit in mid. I honestly don't know.
10 seconds to go.
Ember Spirit just recently introduced in the Captain's mode, and he has seen some success. He's won a lot more games than he has lost, I think. Don't have the exact stats, but there's a lot of weird things they can do with the Ember Spirit. Just by that Sleight of Fist ability, which basically sends an auto attack to everyone in the area without you being able to be harmed. So if Ember Spirit goes a glass cannon build basically, then he can dish out a lot of damage. But the problem is if he does get caught out, then he will die. Again, depending on what he builds. If you build like a glass cannon build with Desolator, MKB, Daedalus, Battle Fury, something like that, and no survivability items, then if Clockwork hooks in on you,
reserve time,
isolates you from the rest of the team and you don't have your remnants up, and you can get bursted down pretty quickly. So we'll see what Snotbagz want to do with the Ember Spirit in this game. Gyrocopter, yeah. So it's gonna be support Alchemist, Clockwork in the offlane, Death Prophet in mid, Crystalmain also support obviously, and Gyrocopter the carry. As Luna has been banned by Snotbagz. Yeah, Gyrocopter carry that has a little bit fallen off in the meta right now. Oh, that was a weird sentence. Let's try that again. Gyrocopter is a carry that has fallen off a little bit in the current meta.
10 seconds to go.
For some reason. I mean, maybe it's because he takes more time to get online.
5 seconds.
And because that mid-game slump that he has when the magic damage isn't quite as scary anymore, but he hasn't yet built enough right-click damage. Yeah, maybe teams don't like that because they want to be really active in the late game, and if not in late game, in the mid game, when the Gyrocopter has this downtime basically. If you want to do that and be active in the mid game, you pick up something like a Luna usually. That's the favorite carry flavor of the month. Right, Snotbagz pick up a Viper for the mid lane, I would imagine. Yeah, Carly's onto it. Benzet gonna be a carry Ember, and it's gonna be a support Naga. Viper, decent pickup against Death Prophet. You can throw out the harass quite easily, and Death Prophet, I don't know. She will take a lot of damage from that damage over time.
Better get ready.
Alright, as we go into the game, let's look at the lineups. Raindrop, the captain for Team Shinoki, and the Death Prophet gonna work his way towards mid. Clockwork, played by Gabik, moving to the offlane as expected. And there you are. Hephiros, Crystalmain, support. Very nice set. Crystalline Queen. That's not a set, but a couple of nice items. Hairdo. Anyway, moving on. Chirax on the Gyrocopter in the carry position. Oh god. What do you want? What? AK on the Alchemist in the support position.
30 seconds
Alright.
to showtime.
Move on, Cuddy. In the mid lane, as I said, on the on the Viper. God, I played sniper earlier and I got demolished. That's why I still have a trauma. Benzit on the carry Ember Spirit. Simon on the supporters. Drop the Katal. We're gonna play the Naga Siren, and the Mandan is gonna be on the offlane Timbersaw.
And they're off.
Those guys, I mean, we're waiting on Benzit, and we had a couple of nice chats in the pre-game, basically.
Radiant
Those are
on
all
one
very
side,
fun people.
Dire on the other.
So, oh yeah, let's actually get rid of that. This. Yeah, it's one thing I want to, or have to be a little bit more careful about actually bringing up the last hits in the beginning of the game, the lady moving on to the net worth. Because I keep forgetting that. And I hope the sound levels this time around are a little bit better. I mean, last time around the announcer was way louder than I was. And I only noticed it when I watched the WOTS later. What?
No. First blood! Now that's how it's
Okay,
done,
demand and feeding.
So much for diplomacy.
Yep, rotation round. With a nice stun combo, okay. And yeah, of course, a gyrocopter. If he finds an isolated target, even if level 1 with the rocket barrage, that's a lot of damage he dishes out in Timbersaw. At this stage in the game, no point into reactive armor. Although it wouldn't help him too much against the rocket barrage. Yeah. Nothing Timbersaw can do. Chain also level 1, it's really limited range. So, the Mandan takes the fall, first blood, goes to the gyrocopter. It's gonna be the best start he can hope for. Already has 900 gold, Wraith Band already up. See what he wants to build, probably some face boots. Maybe the drums into Helm of the Dominator, something like that. Basically a standard build for a gyrocopter with not a lot of deviations. You can skip the drums, and sometimes get power treads if you want to. Cuddy not skilling poison attack. Having the corrosive skin. It is some magic resistance, so against the Death Prophet that is not the worst choice, I guess, because that'll mitigate the effect of this nuke here. Root Storm slightly. But at least 1 point into the poison attack would be quite okay to try and harass the Death Prophet out of lane, but now that she got a bottle, it's gonna be harder to do in it anyway. Clockwork, getting experience. I think it's almost level 4 already.
Denied.
The Mandan, of course, only level 2 as he gave up that unfortunate death. Bots on Team Shinoki in the meantime, doing what they're doing. Crystal Maiden jungling. AK sticking along a little bit closer to lane. Now holding the camp. Ember is farming okay. Oh, there's an engagement onto the Clockwork. Chains will go in, but the cogs and the battery salt will keep him alive. Dropter hasn't skilled anything yet, wants to hold on to these points. There is no level 3. Maybe if he wants to scale Glimpse, they can maybe go for a Clockwork. I mean, he blows his cogs up there where he was earlier. Then they might be able to glimpse him back there once the cogs expire. Then bash on him. Wouldn't be too bad because Clockwork is getting a lot out of this top lane. Not a lot in terms of CS, but quite some experience. That's all you really need on a Clockwork in the early stages. I mean, he does scale okay with farm. Can build a BKB, he can build a Blade Mail if he really wants to. But Cuddy, despite the 3 points of the corrosive skin now, being harassed out of lane heavily. 250 health points. And that's just a constant spam coming out of Raindrop. Acting out the Crit Swarm, 1 point in the silence for good measure. Now picks up an invisibility rune. Gonna use it now as the Mandan is safely, safe behind his tower. Concoction will go out, but nothing will come of it. Yeah, Frostbite, as good as of a spell as that is, it's not a true stun. It is able, but you can still cast spells throughout it. And against a Timbersaw, who has a mobility spell like Timber Chain,
No breaking
it's
through
not
the
too
Dire's
effective.
structures for now.
However, with the rotation
Dire's
coming out
bottom tower's
from the
getting
Death
the
Prophet, this
business.
tower will go down. It's not a whole lot that Timbersaw can do around here. Going in for the 9 would be
Dire's
suicide.
bottom
So.
tower got blown to bits.
Game advantage going to Team Shinoki. Clockwork's thing at level 5, he needs one more level.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Then he will be able to roam around a little bit. Put some more pressure on to maybe the mid lane. Cardi has been harassed out. He hasn't gotten too many last hits, but it's not dreadful either. Now picks up his power treads.
And it's off.
I'm a spirit. Got the face boots up. Got a magic stick to help with the spam that's coming out with the clockwork. He's doing alright. He's on par with the gyrocopter. Smack dab. On par. So. Oh, that's Searing Chain. That's a random chance of hitting one of those. Two guys in cogs, the clockwork and the creep. And these chains hit the creep. So a little bit unfortunate for Panzer. Yeah, but the top lane is the only thing that's going well for Snotbagz right now. And they haven't been able to zone out the clockwork entirely, so early game advantage definitely going for Team Shinoki. Helicopter went for Midas. So he's looking to farm in his bottom lane. Not a whole lot in Timbersaw can do. He has no vision of this jungle area. So he doesn't know where the supports are, and if he decides to do some damage to the gyrocopter, then he can easily be turned around on. With 3 points up with the rocket barrage now and the ultimate ready. That'll be that Timbersaw. If you're also an AK, looking for Cuddy, but he knows something's up. He's playing very defensively. And he should with double damage up on the Death Prophet, so instead they're gonna rotate around top. What will come of it? They might find Katala up here. Nope. They also know what's up. Cuddy pinged it out. Rotation? Do they want to commit to it? I don't think so now. So rotate back to the lane, maybe push it out. Trying to take the tower.
Do it with flair.
That's what they're gonna do.
Radiant's toughened up their structures.
There's the ultimate coming out from the Death Prophet. Level 1 ulti, only a couple of spirits, not too scary. But it's still gonna do damage to the tower unless Snotbagz wants to defend here. They have a disruptor, he has a couple of levels. There's the static field zoning them out a little bit, but those are all ranged heroes. Except for the alchemist and the clockwork. Or not all of them, but okay. There's the teleport coming out. Timbersaw gonna join the fight. Silence going out on the disruptor, and he's got caught out and blown up by all the nukes. But that's the re-engagement.
Guess what's happening?
Crystal Maiden will pay for her
I'm
sins.
burning up.
She will go down, and now range up, being caught by the net and the cogs. Really,
The Dire best
almost
do something
locking him
down
in
that
there.
bottom tower.
They will get the alchemist though.
I think.
The poison damage doing work there. Very nice.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
So they trade 2 for 1. They defend the tower.
Rock it on.
Disruptor just a little bit too far forward in the chase. Got silenced, couldn't do anything. Got blown up by the crypt swarm. All the other nukes coming out. But that's a nice trade anyway, I think. Especially since it gives some much needed gold to the Viper,
Rock it on.
allowing him to catch up. Going for a Shadow Blade, picked up the Claymore. So he'll be looking to roam around a little bit more and make some ganks happen. Brandon goes level 6 as we saw him throw out the chakram earlier. But apart from that, he doesn't have a whole lot. He's probably looking for treads, something like that. Arcane boots, probably. To help out with his mana pool. About 50 gold away from it, so...
Dire's
let's
mid
go
tower
around.
is having technical difficulties.
Death Prophet though, feeling strong. Yeah, level 4 crit storm. The moves in the game will melt down creep waves so quickly.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Yeah. Oh, they might want to go on Death Prophet here. Looking for the rune. There's a static field into the chakram. He's been got. Silence hits on 2 though, and that's not good. And limps back. Chakram's thrown out, walks right back into it. Viper Strike will ensure the kill. And they get an Invis rune out of it as well. So the man's gonna pick that up. Very nice kill there. And yeah. That river is a death trap. I mean, if you want to go to the rune, you either go... you better go on your side of the map. Your side of the river. Either go here if you're Radiant or here if you're Dire. Because if you go here, you have no vision of the high ground. You don't know what's lurking there. There's no real way to escape unless you have something like a leap, or blink daggers, or force staff, something like that, and you don't have that 10 minutes into the game, so... Copy lurking in the woods. Take a look at the graphs. Gold graph. Still quite well in favor of Team Shinoki, and there's another ultimate. The mid tower is gonna go down.
Dire's mid tower
card
won't
here
last much
against
longer.
the entire Radiant team. No one else in position to defend.
The Dire
But that's what's gonna happen against the
the
Death Trap. It's not a whole lot you can do unless you're ahead. And as we just saw in the gold graph and the experience graph, sitting at 1,500 in favor of Shinoki. Snotbagz is not ahead right now. Now they're gonna rotate top. Take a crack at the top tier 1 again. Yep. That's Snotbagz grouping up. And with the Disruptor, he has his ultimate. And if he lands a good combo, then they can crush Shinoki right now. That Disruptor and the Naga Siren as well. She's not level 6. So her effect to the team fight not quite as large. It's basically just the ensnare and a little bit of Riptide and armor, minus armor from... just a little bit of damage minus armor from the Riptide. That's what I wanted to say. But Shinoki not wanting to commit to the top tier 1 just yet. Helicopter going for the Helm of the Dominator build. Finished as Aquila, but he didn't go for the drums. So now I'm going to go back to farming, it seems. Alchemist might be in trouble, but nope. He doesn't want to walk through that acid spray. Throws out a poison attack. That'll be enough for him. He almost has a Shadow Blade. Important part. Hammer Spirit, is he going for one too? No, never mind. Ring of Health and the Claymore, so he's going for the Battle Fury build. That'll help him farm. I just hope that he doesn't go multiple Battle Furies, because that's a pop build. And hasn't been too effective in Pro Scene. I've seen it once, and that's one of the games that the Ember Spirit lost. He built 2 Battle Furies. But, I mean, it's good for farming. Don't get me wrong, it's great for farming. So 1 Battle Fury is alright. But if you decide to build multiple Battle Furies, then you rely on these Battle Furies on their cleave damage to work for you in the team fights. And that only happens if the enemy team sitting right next to each other. And if you have no way of ensuring that with something like that... Oh, there we see engagement. Disruptor being blown up again. Silence coming out of Benzo as well. Ultimate didn't do a whole lot as the rest of Snotbagz wasn't really in place. Katala's going very low. Clockwork looking to pick her off. The flares on cooldown. Ollie tried to
Dire's
man up,
top
but he's being,
tower, you know
he's
the
being
drill.
caught in the
Dire's
cogs.
top
Battery's
tower's
all going to
gone.
work. He will die.
Was that one?
The Manon and Nargisiren, Manon and Katala, barely able to get away. Once again, Disruptor being caught out on the front lines, being blown up and silenced. Boy could get his ulti off there.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower. Can't do
Atmosphere.
nothing about Dire structures right
Disruptor
now.
die again. And yeah, you saw what kind of damage
Dire's
the
top
ultimate did to
tower's
the
getting
Alchemist.
beat down.
If you manage to drop the ultimate and the kinetic field on top of them, then that team fight
Dire's
would have gone a
top
little bit
tower,
differently, I feel.
You know the drill.
But against the Death Prophet, who's on point with the silences, you can't just walk up to her. Right? You have to disable her somehow first. Or you have to make sure that she's occupied somewhere else. Because you're gonna get the kinetic field off and then get silence. Unless you're really quick on a trigger finger. So it's not helping too much. So Snotbagz lose a couple of heroes. And the top tower. Haven't gotten any trades out of it. All the tier 1 towers are still alive. On the Radiant side at least. Simon. Water poor support. Soul's Katana. They don't have any gold and that's the problem. Take a look at the net worth. Yeah, sitting on the very bottom. Even Crystal Maiden is more. Crystal Maiden can jungle. She's got Tranquil Boots and a lot of support items. I mean, she's playing the 5 role, so the Alchemist will build the mechanism. Yeah, he's well on his way to it. About 500 more gold, then he'll have it. And opting for value points into the Greedless Greed instead of maxing out the acid spray first. So he can get that farm going a little bit quicker. Raindrop in the meantime, once again the ultimate is up and once again the tower is in distress. The Manon throws out the chakram. Not just the Timbersaw doing what a Timbersaw can do at pretty much any stage of the game. The throw out his chakram. Try and slow down pushes. That only works as long as you have mana. Only works as long as you don't get initiated upon. And with the clockwork on the enemy team, I mean the hook is on cooldown right now, but that hook is off cooldown. Gabik manages to get into a good position, then basically can catch out anyone in the backlines. Body, finish the Shadow Blade. There are sentry wards, don't want to go there. Very nice warding coming out from Shinoki right now. Very offensive wards.
Someone's having technical difficulties.
Enzut having some troubles again. This game was delayed a little bit because Enzut was somewhere else. Oh yeah. Oh, that was just a quick. Those guys, man. Those guys. So short balls, but we're right back into the game. And so it needs 1,000 gold. Plus some change for the Battle Fury and then he'll start farming up. We'll probably start stacking the Ancients as well a little bit. They get the chance, but with the constant pressure coming out of Team Shinoki. Oh, there's a nice static storm, but the kinetic field is gonna miss. The glimpse coming out. Oh, there's the nets. The Manon looking to do something. But with the silence coming out, Kali will be blown up. He had low health, I don't know what he was doing there. Nargisiren, as I said.
2 down.
Yep.
Well done.
Dire's bottom
Benzert
tower's getting the
manages to
business.
pick up the Crystal Maiden, but that's about all they can do. And with the ultimate up, it won't work. This tier 2 is going to fall.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
We saw the Naga Siren fall right about here.
Dire just couldn't
Two
save that
Clockwork Hook,
bottom
and that's
tower.
exactly what it was saying
Dire's mid tower
earlier.
won't
The
last much
Clockwork can
longer.
just come in from the side, pick up any one hero.
Boom, there it goes.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
4-for-1 trade, and the Tower is probably going to go down. Ultimate has passed, so
Dire's mid
it's not
tower
as
could use
fast
a
as they
little
probably would
help.
like. But they should have no problem spamming down the creep waves. Snotbagz is going to fight. Raindrop gonna be caught
Flares here.
and used up. Kinetic field will catch it. 4-man silence! Wow, and then she just floats away because she's so freaking fast. Even glimpsed her back, but she's already almost out of dodge. Hook just short, and they managed to pick her off in the end. That's a killing spree for Viper.
Somebody's cooking.
But, oh
That's
my
4
god.
in a row. 6 in a row. 4 down.
That call down, man. That call down. They
Dire's
walked
mid
right into
tower
that
won't
one and
last much
managed to
longer.
pick up. So, that's a... Wow.
Dire's mid tower's nothing now.
Alright, at this point, Gyrocopter with the
Dire's
BKB,
top
another
tower's
2,400
getting
gold.
beat
He's
down.
getting out of control.
Them Dire buildings are tough as nails for now.
4 kills, moved the
Dire's
call
mid
down,
tower's having technical
and the
difficulties.
flag cannon. These Snotbagz just
Dire's mid tower could use a
going
little
in
help.
too deep. I mean, they can't fight them right now. They just can't. All advantage sitting at 15,000 already. Experience well on the way to that line as well. Sitting above 10,000. And the problem is, with the lineup that Snotbagz have, with Viper, that's snowball dependent, with Sport Naga, that's never gonna get a Radiance in this game. With Timber Sword, it's really level dependent, it's not even got his level 11 yet.
The Dire might want to
Then
mine
against
the top tower.
supports on the
Dire's
other
got
side,
one
like the
less top
Alchemist, who is
tower.
level 11. He alone is probably impossible to bring down with the Chemical Rage in a team fight. There's another hook onto Katala, he's not long for the wall, there's nukes come in. Another
How about that?
nice silence disruptor. Simon is not long for the wall, throws out the ultimate for good measure. But it's not gonna do a whole lot.
Radiant's bottom
Manon,
tower's seen better days.
He's being nuked down.
7 and
Manages
8
to
in a
Timber Chain
row.
away, but
2
only
down.
for a little bit
Dire's
as
top
the
tower.
flak cannon
You know the drill.
manages to pick him off. And then
Radiant's
Viper
bottom
as well.
tower ain't a pretty sight
Viper
right
buys
now.
back, but
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
it's all over but the crying at this point. Just waiting
Trouble
for the
brewing at
GG. It's
Radiant's
not
bottom
nothing
tower.
Viper can do.
Dire's lost the top
Nothing
tower.
Naga can do. The ultimate's still on
Dire's
cooldown.
top racks is in trouble.
I'll try to use it early in
Radiant's
that
bottom
mid-fight.
tower ain't a pretty
Those out
sight right now.
Viper Strike
Dire's top racks didn't
and
make
bans
it.
it. Going in,
Have learned well.
throwing out a Sleight of Fist, and
in a
then
row.
get killed while retreating.
Dangerous.
Is the answer to all life's questions.
Viper goes down again to the Gyrocopter. Another ultimate, not gonna land this time around, but Katala
Dire's top
down takes
rack
fall, and the GG is called.
I can only dream of such a day.
The Radiant done it.
Very nice game coming out from Shinoki. Very good early game control. And Clockwork. Solid hooks. And then Gyrocopter, of course, getting the first blood, farming up both the Hand of Midas. And then landing those good cooldowns and cannon. But that's basically just what Gyro does. MVP for me this game is probably Raindrop with the Death Prophet. Landing the silences, landing the Crypt Swarms on point every single time. And with that ultimate on the Death Prophet, that's a quick game. Alright, we're gonna go on to game 2. Meantime, I'll put on some more music. We'll be right back.